See, when most people get cheated on, they just break up, they move on, they put it in the past. However, 15-year-old me, when I got cheated on by my ex-boyfriend with his sister, who was already pregnant by their stepbrother, I didn't do that. Guess what? I brought stick figures again. Welcome to the aftermath. So when I found out, I was extremely taken aback. I did not know how to respond, like, at all. I wanted to tell his mother, but I knew his mom knew about the pregnancy. So I just assumed that she already knew about my ex and his sister. So instead of talking to anyone about it, I just went to my ex and I broke up with him. He immediately started crying and apologizing and then told me that he actually never wanted to do any of it, if you know what I mean. He told me his family was liars, a whole bunch of that stuff. So I got back together with him because he said he wanted to escape his family. So after a few weeks of us being back together, we were really not a happy couple. He was a fucking weirdo. But I get a phone call from no caller ID. Now this is where 2 comes in. We're going to call her 2 because she is the second woman that he has cheated on me with. Now 2 was actually with him at the exact same time as me, except when she found out about the brother-sister thing, she broke up with him. She then got into a whole bunch of lore, which I can't get into right now, but there was a lot. So me and 2 go to X and we immediately confront him. Well, I confront him. I'm like, why did you lie to me? Did this really happen consensually? Did you mean to do that with your pregnant sister? And he just immediately said that they were all lies and that 2 was a liar and that he actually never even dated her. To her face, he said, actually, we never dated, even though there was photographic evidence that they had dated. After me and 2 confronted X, 2 brought me to Step, and that's when Step told me the whole shebang, all of the lore, all of the everything, and I found out that obviously X was lying. After I found out that X was lying, of course, I broke up with him. I did not want to be with somebody like that. After that, some time had passed. I stayed in contact with 2. Me and 2 are actually very close friends now. However, X was not taking it well. X began sending me and 2 very strange things, which I blocked him multiple times. He would make alt accounts. He would spam my phone number, call me on no caller ID. It was crazy. So eventually, me and 2 told him, we'll call your mother. He responded to that with a pic of his, while he was sitting on the toilet. He said that he thought we were playing hard to get. After he did that response, we essentially went to his mother. We texted her a bunch of screenshots and messages, and then he's also been sending pics. She looked at us and said that we were lying. We asked her if she needed proof. She said, yeah. We sent it to her. And that's when we got a FaceTime call. I don't have enough time to go into detail about that FaceTime call, but trust it was insane. She drew the line at a toilet pic, but she did not draw the line when it came to the incest. After the phone call, she ended up kicking him out. She sent him to go live with his dad. So now he does not have any contact with Step, Sis, Mom, or any of his other step siblings that lived over there. He is living with his dad full time. According to one of the step siblings that is unrelated to this entire story, he has not been able to contact them for almost 2 years. I don't know if he's not allowed or if he just doesn't, but that's the aftermath. Thank you.
I'm getting a divorce because my husband tried to gaslight me. It's just insane to me that you can be with somebody for years, have their child, and then they can do you so dirty and try to flip the entire thing around on you and make you seem like you're the crazy one, like you're in the wrong. This all started a year ago when I was 6 months pregnant. Yes, during the time that I was literally growing my husband's child inside my body is when this whole thing started. And all of a sudden, my husband is glued to his phone. And I've never had trust issues with him in the past, but something about this I did not like. I would always jokingly be like, who has all your attention all of a sudden? And he would just always say it was work. But he's had the same job for years, and he's never been glued to his phone as much as he was, so I wasn't buying it. And I tried my best to just not let it bother me, to blow the whole thing off, but it became the bane of my existence. Every time I saw his phone, I was getting angry. So finally, one day when he was showering, I decided that I was going to go through it. And I'm glad I did. The texts that he had been sending were to his new female coworker, and they were talking all the time. And they were conversations that I don't think it's appropriate for a married man to have. It's not like they were straight up flirting or anything, but they were talking about what they were up to, their plans for the day. On weekends when they were texting, they were talking about their weekend plans, like not all work-related conversations. And I don't know this woman, and I didn't even know he was texting this woman, so I wasn't cool with it. The minute he comes out of the shower, I'm holding up that phone. I say, you know what? We're married. 50% of this phone belongs to me, and I know who you've been texting, and I don't like it. And of course, he's like, babe, it's literally nothing. She's just my friend. She's just a coworker. And I told him straight up, if you need to text her about work, that's fine. But anything else, I don't like it. I'm not cool with it, because it's the fact that I had no idea this woman existed. And I'd been asking you, who have you been texting? And you were blowing me off. He apologizes. He agrees that he won't text her for anything that's not work related. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I trust him. I love him. We're about to have a child together. But then 2 months pass. I'm 8 months pregnant. And I'm on his phone because I was sending photos he took to myself. And whose name do I see pop up? And I have never opened a text thread so fast. And I found out that for those 2 months, they had never stopped texting at all. Their texting had not slowed down. They were still talking about what they were up to, chatting about their days. I was pissed. So I confront my husband. I'm angry. I feel betrayed. I feel so disrespected. And he tells me that the only reason I feel this way is because I'm hormonal and pregnant. And he's getting in my head. He's like, Kels, this isn't you. You're not jealous. Like, you're not insecure. You are just upset about this because you're pregnant. And honestly, this is embarrassing, but in my head, I'm like, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just hormonal. I should let this go. We're about to have a baby. It's fine. I move on. I have our child. Yep. I give birth to our child, and he takes paternity leave. I take maternity leave, and we are a perfect, happy, blissful little family. I totally forgot that this situation even happened until he goes back to work, and all of a sudden, he's glued to his phone again. I didn't even hesitate this time. He goes into the shower. I take his phone again. I'm scrolling through it. And the minute he's been back at work, he's been texting her all the time again. He's even trying to convince her to work one-on-one with him, just a project, the two of them, where they would be driving in a car together 5 days a week for multiple hours a day. He's literally begging her to take on this assignment with him. And that's when I lose it. I realized that this entire time, he was using my hormones on my pregnancy to guilt me, to make me think that I was crazy. I wasn't crazy. I was being disrespected. And the minute he walks out of that shower, I look at him and I said, I want you out of my house. He tried to play dumb, but how can you play dumb? You literally have the evidence right on your phone. An entire text thread of you sending each other selfies back and forth and laughing about your day. Absolutely not. I was like, no. I've told you that this made me feel disrespected. I am here taking care of your newborn child, and you're out flirting with a woman. Absolutely not. Get out. The man was in tears, practically begging me to change my mind, saying that he didn't want me to destroy our family. He goes, Kels, don't do anything that would destroy our family. I said, I didn't do anything that would destroy our family. You did. And I gave you multiple opportunities to stop, and you made the choice every single time not to do it. So obviously, your whatever relationship with this woman is more important than me and our child and our family. He was like, no, like, just meet her. Like, you'll meet her. You'll realize that we're just friends. Nothing's going on. I'm like, no. If you were just friends, you would be prioritizing me and your child. You're obviously prioritizing whatever this relationship is. She's obviously more than a friend. So I've kicked him out. He's been spending every single moment of the day begging to come home. Maybe now he's actually not texting that woman because he doesn't have time, because he's spending all of his time begging to come back. But maybe I will get dinner with this woman, because I want to find out once and for all what the heck is going on.
Hey guys, so this is a story time that everyone's kind of been asking me about, that has to do with my posts that went somewhat viral on Facebook, that had to do with my husband cheating on me when I was pregnant. And I kind of debated posting on anything, but when I was going through my really difficult time, there were a lot of women on TikTok that were posting their stories, and they were going through the same thing as me, and it really helped me relate to somebody else, along with all of the women that have reached out to me to tell me their story and things that they had gone through when they were pregnant. And so I thought maybe if I post something, it can help somebody else out, or someone else can relate to it. But at the beginning or middle of September of last year, my husband was making his work schedule, and I had noticed a new girl was posted. And my heart instantly dropped just because he is not known for being the most honest and trustworthy person when it comes to other women. And he also tends to cross boundaries. So I asked him about her, and he said that she was a new girl, that she was young, and that nothing could happen because he was her boss. So I tried to ignore it, but something was just telling me that something wasn't right. And as time went on, he started doing things that most people that are cheating do. He was deleting text messages, sleeping on his phone. He started going to the gym at 4 in the morning, not getting back until 7, 8 o'clock at night from work. Just a lot of things were going on. He also would get really angry at like the most inconvenient things. Like if I was involved, it just seemed like my presence really annoyed him, and anytime I would ask him about her just for some reassurance, he would get really angry about it. And this was starting to really affect my pregnancy. I started losing a lot of weight because I couldn't eat. I couldn't get myself to take a shower. I also was going through a lot of like an emotional roller coaster with him, because one day he would be really mean and the next he would be sorry and crying and telling me that he couldn't live without me and that he couldn't wait for the baby. So I didn't really know what was going on with him. But the day that did it for me was October 8th. I had went outside to hang out with him because he was doing yard work. And there's actually a video of this I took off of our camera. He was ignoring me, giving me the silent treatment. He wouldn't look at me. He just didn't want anything to do with me. And I decided that night that I was going to have to leave and go stay with my mom. So I ended up sleeping in our basement. I also was really sick around this time. So I told him when I did leave, which I had to pack whatever I could fit into bags. I also had to leave our dog, which was really difficult, that I had to leave our dog because of my husband's decisions. I told him that I would stay at my mom's until I was feeling better and then I would be back. And he told me that he wanted space and that he did not want me to come back and he just didn't want me talking to him. I did call and message him a few times, and after a while I just ended up texting him and telling him that I wanted a divorce and that I would come get my stuff. He did not fight me on that. He said that he actually wanted to meet up with me and talk to me somewhere where I felt comfortable, which I knew what he was doing. He wanted to get the last word in. So I ended up meeting up with him, and he told me out of respect of being his girlfriend and fiance, didn't even say his wife, that me texting him when he asked for space was too much for him, and that he did not want me to be with him, or he didn't want to be with me, and he was done. And but he said it had nothing to do with another girl. But later on, the pictures that were shown on the TV, he was going out on dates with her in October. So anyways, fast forward, he ends up filing for divorce in November, and I waited for him to do it just because if he was going to be the one running around, I figured he can pay for it. I didn't really hear from him much after that. He'd check in here and there asking how the baby was doing, which was kind of an awkward question because I didn't know how to respond to that. He was just kind of mean, didn't want to talk. If I did respond back, he wouldn't say anything back to my message. So also I went to go get my baby's things from our house, and when I went in, the girl had already moved some of her things in. Her stuff was in where my bathroom things were. She had things in the kitchen. He had thrown all of my furniture and personal belongings into our bedroom, expecting me to move all of that out while heavily pregnant. I couldn't even walk around in the room because my stomach was in the way. So as much as he never wanted to admit it, I mean, I already physically could see that she was moved in, and yeah. So I ended up having my baby. He came to the hospital to see her. He didn't say thank you. He didn't bring flowers. He didn't really say much of anything. The most he talked about was about divorce stuff. And then 20 days later, we had a provisional, which planned out his visitation. And for pickup and drop off, he started bringing the girl and dropping her off at random parts of where we have to meet up. And I had run into them awkwardly a few times, and I had told him that, like, that's super weird, you might as well just bring her. So after a while of him doing that, he did end up bringing her, but he would park far away to where I couldn't see her. And if I could see her, her head would be down. She hasn't introduced herself, nothing. And he still does that. But the photos on the TV that everyone was asking about, so I had just gotten out of the shower, and I walked into my room. His Roku was connected to the TV when he lived with me at my mom's for a few years, which I completely forgot about. But a photo had come up of my baby, and I was like, oh, that's super cute, but I've never seen that before. That's weird. And then just multiple photos of him and the girlfriend were coming up, and that was just really hurtful to see, that he was out pampering himself, going on vacations and going out to bars while I was depressed and practically bedridden. I could not get myself to get out of bed. And then the last photo I saw was her holding my newborn baby, which was also very weird to see her smiling like that with my baby. So I got really angry about it and decided to post it on Facebook, and I did not expect it to go as viral as it did. But that's practically the gist of the story, and I really appreciate everyone that has reached out to me and given me their love and support, and I hope that this video can help somebody else that has gone through, or is going through this, or has gone through it and can relate to me. But yeah.
I'm debating even posting this, but I'm not going to say names for the privacy and protection of the people involved. But here's my roommate / ex from hell story. Okay, so basically, a few years ago, like 4 years ago, I think. About 4 years ago, I started dating someone, like a guy I met off Tinder. I know, surprise, surprise. But yeah, so I'm going to go off Tinder. Red flags from the fucking get-go. But as a trans girl, sometimes we forget red flags for the validation. Anyway, red flags from the get-go. But, you know, I stuck it out with him, and he was the type of, like, situationship boyfriend that would, like, promise marriage. But then when it came time to, he'd, like, ask me out while we were doing schmugs. We're doing a lot of schmugs together, like MD every weekend. When I say every weekend, I mean every weekend. So my brain was, like, misinterpreting the fake dopamine for, like, oh my God, I'm living in a fairy tale. So he would promise these things. I loved it, was obsessed, like, and then obviously it would never happen. And this was going on for months and months and months. And my dumb ass let him move in with me. I let him move in with me. The same thing would happen though after he moved in. We would just do schmugs constantly. I was off the fucking rails back then. Off the rails. So, I'm not gonna say anyone who's involved. But also keep in mind, I don't want you guys to call me stupid in the comments, because I know that I'm a very nice person and I people please and that I forgive too much. But I'm working on that, and I've gotten a lot better since this time. So you had to be there to understand. He ended up getting a little bit abusive. Just a little bit, like, you know, just a bit. I know I'm saying just a bit. Abuse is abuse. But yeah, numerous things happened, and at that point, I'd introduced him to my friends. You know, he's met my mom. Like, I've already introduced him to, like, my friends and everything. You know, he's moved in. Like, we're getting a lot closer. We're, like, having schmegs every night, pretty much. Like, every few nights at least. And then I introduced him to my friend, my best friend at the time. So, I didn't see any red flags. But from the fucking get-go, I caught them playing footsies under the table when we first met. And I was like, you know, like, I questioned her about it. I was like, why are we guys playing footsies under the table? Because, like, we all went back to my house and we all got drunk, and then he went to bed and me and her just kept on hanging out. And this was an ongoing thing. She'd come over, hang out with us. We just hang out as a trio. And I noticed things more and more and more. Just flirty energy, or him giving her a look, like, quite literally just being like, you know, I'd ask her about it later because I'm too scared of confrontation. I'm not going to stand up for myself at the moment and be like, what was that, guys? I know. Fucking dumbass. I should have, because I would have gotten answers a lot quicker. But yeah, so it was like thing after thing after thing, and them both convincing me. I'd go to them separately and make sure that I was, like, using reverse psychology and whatever, and they were good. They were good at lying. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone be that dumb with trying to hide something, but maybe even dumber to listen to the gaslighting and believe it. I believed it, girl. I believed it. So the Oscar goes too. But yeah, so basically one thing led to another and they slept together. But not only that, they were quite literally just feeding me a bottle of vodka before that point. So, but I'm not sure if people remember this about me. My sleeping pattern is awful. I wake up in the middle of the night at least 5 or 6 times. And because I already had something kind of in my head, I was kind of already a bit like, at this point I know something's fucking going on. But I didn't. And they were gaslighting me, so I felt crazy. I genuinely felt crazy. I walk in. I wake up at like really early morning hours. In the morning, I go to the bedroom. Well, I go out and I see that our stuff is still there. And I'm like, okay, where the fuck is she? Did she go to the shops or something? And I was like, my heart dropped and I was like, oh, no. I opened the door and they were in the bed together. So she was fully clothed. He was naked, like a little bit of blanket covering him. And tell me fucking why. I believed them. They said nothing happened. They said I passed out because I was too drunk. Forgetting that I remember them getting me that drunk in the first place, but I believe that. She was like, they were both comforting me together at that point. Because at that point, I had the confrontation. I said, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And that's the first time I think I've ever been that confrontational with someone. And they both convinced me. And my friend didn't convince me that well. I was kind of like, girl, I don't know. She just kind of wasn't saying much. But when, she left, this boy looked me dead in the eye and I said, I feel like I'm going crazy. Why the hell would she be in there? That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. And you don't do that to your best friend either. That's weird. You are weird. You are strange. I've moved on from this, but I've never talked about it and I think I want to. But I'm not going to say who they are. Anyway, he looked me dead in the eye because I generally was believing him, but I couldn't. I was like, I can't believe you. Like, I know something's happened. And then I was like, promised on my dad's grave. And then I was looking. At this time, I did not know this man was like meant to be medicated for BPD, meant to be medicated for bipolar, hid that from me. Then his ex, we messaged and then I found out all the tea. And also he said that his ex was just some random friend. Turns out, long relationship, so much tea, like whole different story time going into that when I actually found out who he was. So he looked me dead in the eye, promised me on my dad's grave, did not twitch, did not even flinch. So I bawled into tears and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I would I was just apologizing over and over because I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm really fucking sorry. So I believed him. And then obviously a few altercations happened. One where I called the police, or I was going to call the police. I did call the police one time and then my mum came over, full mediated the situation. It was crazy. And then he's nice as pie to her. But then when she leaves, different person. Anyway, altercation happens. A friend comes over. And then she said, I can't keep listening to you. I need to be honest with you. And I was like, honest about fucking what? Like, what? Are you sure? Like, do I need to hear this right now? I'm going through a lot. Like, I just need your support over this boyfriend situation. And then she's like, that's what it's about. Like, I think something happened. And I was like, no, I fucking didn't, because you gaslit me to think nothing happened. You gaslit me. And also this man was like bringing her presents to work, literally bringing her gifts to work, never buying me gifts, unless at the start when I wasn't comfortable yet and I was like ready to fucking dip when he was showing red flags, then he'd buy me expensive gifts. So once he got comfortable, hell no. He just switched doing it to the best friend. I mean, slay, get that back, sis. But anyway, so this is so, takes me back. So she told me everything and I was like, give me your fucking phone. She's like, what? Like, no, I don't think it's like going to be a good idea to message. I'm like, give me your fucking phone. If you want to be in my life, girl, as a friend, you are letting me message him as you, and I'm ending this right now. Otherwise you can run off with him and have a good day, have a good life. So yeah, I pretty much put red food down all of his like Balenciaga tops, all of his shit, packed it all in trash bags and chucked it out the front. And then let him come and grab the rest. And then I still continued to be friends with this girl. Don't get me wrong, he was gaslighting her too, manipulating her too, but that's not a fucking excuse. Not an excuse. I saw it as a good excuse at the time, but now I've grown from that. I'm like, take some accountability. But we moved on, all good. Well, we're not going to hate on that friend. But yeah, so be nice in the comments. I know, it's crazy. But yeah, so that happened. And then pretty much, this is the worst part of it all. that all happened. And then I still went back and saw him a few times. And this man literally, deliberately wore one of the tops that I wrote cheat on. It was one of his ugly t-shirts too. Like, no, it was a top that he gave me and let me wear. And I was like, I'm giving that back to you and cutting a couple holes in it and then writing cheater on it. And then when he saw me, he wore that to try to make me feel bad. I was like, what the fuck? And my dumbass, I still fucking laid in his bed and cuddled him. I know, crazy. I'm the crazy one here for being unforgiving. Different person, I promise. So yeah, that was pretty much my roommate from hell / boyfriend and my best friend being involved.
So I was talking to this guy from a reality TV show, and he damn near ruined my life and got himself canceled in a span of 3 months. So I'm obviously not going to name drop, and I'm not going to name the reality show that he was from, but this was back in 2023. November of 2023, I think, is when we started talking. And he had just gotten off the show. And we started talking through Snapchat first. He asked for my Snapchat. No, he didn't ask for my Snapchat. He gave me his Snapchat. First red flag. This man is in his mid-30s, okay? And to give some background, I'm a huge fan of this show, super fan. And I obviously knew who he was. I watched him on that season. I was clearly down to talk to him, right? So we start talking on Snapchat and things are going pretty well. We're getting to know each other. He's super sweet, very nice. He's asking me questions about myself and we're just talking, and this is for this went on for a week and a half. Okay. I remember it was I think the week before Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving. And we are talking every day. Okay. Consistently every day. Now this dude on the show, he was kind of perceived as a bad guy, not a bad guy, but a villain kind of. No, not very many people liked him on the show, and I don't think a lot of people liked him off the show. I just thought he was cute. I had a crush on him. So a week into December, he ends up going on another little reality TV show spinoff of the show that he was on. And so he let me know beforehand, and he wasn't gonna have his phone, so I wasn't gonna be able to talk to him or anything. But I was like, it's cool. I'm gonna be watching the show, rooting you on. What could possibly go wrong? He comes back from the show. We're talking again. We're FaceTiming. At this point, he had ended up meeting my friends over FaceTime. And also there were a few red flags that I started to pick up on that I was like, oh. Time call. He says that he has to stay in control of the relationship, meaning that I got 3 strikes. Okay? And he says, if you get 3 strikes, then you're out. And I'm like, well, I genuinely thought he was joking, but then I was like, I can't tell if you're kidding or not. What? And then he's all, okay, that's strike 1. You're gonna think a lot of these red flags are rage bait at this point because I still continued to talk to him after, but I'm a gots to see it through type of person. Plus, I wasn't really thinking too hard into the situation, so please don't judge me. So Christmas rolls around and we're still talking at this point. And I remember we FaceTimed, and on that FaceTime call, he made a really weird comment. He was like, I'm going to leave you on red and I'm going to stop messaging you back so that you like me more. And I thought he was joking. I genuinely thought he was joking. And I was like, okay, what? That's not going to work. The day of Christmas, I text him and I say, Merry Christmas, and I get no response. I'm like, okay, that's a little silly. A day goes by and I'm like, oh, okay, that's really silly. That's just so funny. And then a couple more days go by and I'm like, bro was being serious. Okay. I'm gonna pull up the receipts. Okay. I said, are you okay? I'm kind of worried. Did I do something wrong? No response. And then the next day, okay, so this is 5 days at this point. He says, oh God, no, you're amazing. I'm just going through a lot. Thank you for being so awesome. I go in and out of talking. There's a lot of stress and pressure right now. So then I reply and I say, I just wanted to make sure you were all right and everything was good. I'm always here if you need to vent. Sorry you're feeling stressed. And then he sends me a song from one of my favorite bands. And I'm like, okay, but how do you know this song from my favorite band? So then I remember I go live on Instagram with my friend. And he ends up joining my live stream, okay? And I remember he was texting me because we hadn't really talked that much at that point. After he had sent that message, I was like, I'm going to take a step back. But I went live, and that night he texted me. He was like, oh, I get to watch you for a change. This is whatever. And so I was like, okay, huh. So are we good now? This is so typical. And then we started talking about music, and we're basically talking again at this point, like kind of consistently. I remember we also were talking on Snapchat still. This was over, okay, so some of this was over text, but we were still talking over Snap too, and like Snapchatting. Fuck. And he would also FaceTime me randomly during the day. Just randomly would pop in and FaceTime me. So I thought, okay, if he can do that, then I must be able to do that too. So I remember I was going to a concert that day, and I was checking into the hotel and everything. When I got to the hotel, I FaceTimed him before I went to the show to, like, you know, talk to him, let him know, hey, I'm gonna like go to the show. I wanted him to see my outfit, all this stuff. And he didn't respond. He didn't answer the FaceTime. So I was like, oh, okay. So after the show, I text him and I say, are you awake? No response. I'm like, oh, he must not be awake. A few days go by, and I'm like, oh, bro must be sleeping really hard. That's so fucking crazy. So at this point, I'm pissed, okay? I noticed that when I get angry on my story times, I always raise my voice, so I'm trying to, like, keep it at a minimum. At this point, I start losing my mind because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Not again, okay? So I don't text him. I refuse. I literally chain myself to my fucking bed, and I'm like, I'm not texting this man. I'm not talking to him. I'm not reaching out. Like, if he's not gonna talk to me, I'm not gonna talk to him. But I was going crazy in the inside, okay? I was going absolutely crazy. I remember I was calling my therapist every single day, bawling my eyes out in my car, because I was just so like, why is this happening? Why am I being ghosted right now? Like, this makes no sense. I mean, this does make sense considering he literally said that he was gonna stop talking to me at times so that I would like him more. But being ghosted is literally the worst feeling ever, and also it's just so like cowardice. Like, what the and I've been treated bad in my life, but being just straight up ghosted, no response, nothing, that is just pure evil. So you know that era after a breakup when you start posting on Instagram again on your story and you're just like trying to feel hot again? Well, obviously I start doing that. And then I see that he's liking my story. And then one day, not only is he liking my story, he responds to my story. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I still don't really respond to him. He ends up, okay, so fast forward like over a month and a half. My birthday's in February, okay? So I hadn't really talked to him at that point. I was still like low-key a little salty because being ghosted is just not fun. So I was just trying to move on at this point. And then he texts me happy birthday on my birthday. Now, this is probably where you would say, block him, ghost him, don't ever talk to him again. But in my head, my logic was, I don't want to be on bad terms with someone from my favorite TV show, okay? Because I just didn't want that. I didn't want any animosity, nothing. Like, I was at that point, like, willing to move forward from it. I didn't want to talk to him again like that, but I just wanted to be chill. So whatever, we don't talk for months, and then April rolls around, and he messages me, and he's like, oh, I've been thinking about you, like, what are you doing? We had both happened to be going to LA at the same time, but at this point, like, I wasn't trying to do anything with him. I was responding to him, but I probably shouldn't have been at all. But then he's asking to hang out and stuff while we're in LA, which did not end up happening, okay? I did not end up hanging out with him. After that, I blocked him on Instagram and everything. And then a couple weeks later, my sister shows me this post that he made on his Instagram. It was a statement, him saying, I got the receipts here. Apparently he was involved with their relationship with a 24-year-old woman while he was still married to his wife, technically, and then he cheated on her with another 24-year-old woman. Initially, I was like, is he talking about me? I'm so confused. But then I realized, no, he was talking to me as well as 2 other women my age. Oh, well, he still had a wife. Dude was getting bagged on so hard on Twitter, but obviously I stopped talking to him after that. And then literally 5 months later, he hits me up again and he's trying to talk to me. To this day, he still texts me, but I don't respond. But yeah, there's still more to the story, but for the most part, dude was a tool. I guess never meet your heroes.
I'll be telling you guys the story. I found out I got cheated on Valentine's Day. As I get ready for the gym, it's Valentine's Day. He did the absolute most for me this day. I'm talking about he took me to like a really nice restaurant. He bought me like some really nice gifts. And it's kind of sad, but I actually wasn't used to that. So for me, it did start coming off as a little weird. I had a gut feeling that something was not right. I was playing it cool. I was like, as soon as this man falls asleep, I am going to check his phone. So I waited for him to fall asleep, and I already had this problem with this one girl that he was talking to way too much, because back then, like on Snapchat, we had like best friends. I was always his best friend until he met this girl. She became his best friend, and I'm like, how are you gonna be talking to someone more than you're talking to your girlfriend? Like, basically convinced me that it was fine, that it was just a friend, that I shouldn't be worried about anything. That happened was that he was posting me that day for Valentine's Day, but he had this girl blocked from seeing his stories, and I just knew, like right then and there, that second that I saw that, I just knew it in my heart. I cheating on me with this girl. So I literally woke him up, and I was just like, please, 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 for the first time in your life, be honest with me. I just asked him, I'm like, are you cheating on me with her? Sorry guys, I did my hair real quick. Just tell he was sitting there contemplating whether he should tell me or not. And he like literally blurps it out. He's all like, I cheated on you. And I was like, there's no way. I started pushing him, and I was just all like, what do you mean you cheated on me? Like, did you kiss her? Like, what did you do? He's all like, I cheated on you. And I was just like, I literally made him sit there and tell me every single detail. I wanted to know exactly how it happened. Even though, like, I feel like he didn't tell me the complete truth. He told me, you know, he kind of did it and then he stopped and he left. And he told me that he literally felt like killing himself after that. Like, he was just like, I completely regretted it. I'm like, if you regretted it, why would you block her from seeing our stories? Like, you would have just stopped talking to her. And I literally told him right there, I'm like, block her. Like I'm leaving. Like, I'm done. Because keep in mind, like, I drove out all the way to San Jose to see this guy. And I live in Stockton. But I'm from San Jose, so that's how I met him. I basically drove out to him. So I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm going home. I started packing my stuff, and he was literally on the floor begging me not to go. He was hitting himself, telling me not to leave. I actually had to stop him from hitting himself because it was just not like playing. Like, it was genuinely like hurting himself. Like, literally, like, why are you crying? Like, I should be the one crying right now, not you. And then, like, I left. Like, I went outside. His mom.
So last night, my husband decided to throw our entire family away. Our home, our family, our relationship, everything is just now done. Because apparently another woman was more important than all of that. So I had errands to run. Came home from running those errands. No, I need ice. Like I was saying, came home from running my errands, couldn't find my husband, walked up. I can't do the flick thing, I'm not cool. Walked upstairs to our bedroom and found him in bed with another woman. Pretty much the worst moment of my life. Not only was she skinnier, prettier, younger, had the most beautiful bronze skin, what the fuck ever, skanky little bitch. But she clearly, I guess despite all of, you know, the pictures of children and stuff in our house, she must have been under the impression that he was going to be leaving me, or that we were no longer going to be married. And therefore, started crying and decided to throw her clothes on very quickly and leave our house. So she's crying, I'm crying. And what does my husband do? He chases her outside, leaves me inside. And of course, when I'm like, really? Like, you're gonna chase her? He's like, basically just tells me that, like, that's what he wants, that I don't make him happy, that this family isn't what he wants anymore. And yeah, that's his decision, that we are no longer what he wants for his life. So, I guess that's all there is to it. So when I woke up from that dream this morning, I was still hurt, still upset, heart still broken, rolled over, gave him one of these like looks. He didn't understand why I was upset. Like, how could you not understand why I'm upset that you would do that to me in my dream? Am I still upset? Yes. Do I want to know who she is? Of course. Am I going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? I don't know. We'll have to see. He has a lot to make up for. That's all I'm going to say. Isn't it fun being women? It's just so fun.
I started an OF because my boyfriend cheated on me. I met my boyfriend 2 years ago and I thought he was my person. For 2 years, I trusted this guy with my life to the point where I stupidly never went through his phone. And if there's one thing I have to say is, go through your man's phone. Even if you trust him a lot, go through it. One day he just passed out on the couch, and like I said, I had never gone through his phone. I didn't intend on going through his phone, but it just started buzzing so much. I had just been having this weird gut feeling in me. Like, nothing obviously weird was happening, but I was just having a weird feeling. And I'm also really into astrology, like big time. And I know some people are skeptical of it, but I've had enough proof in my life that it's very real. So I go on Astro a lot. It's an astrology app that gives you life advice based on your birth chart. I usually use the tarot card interpreter feature on there, especially every time I'm having deep, unexplainable gut feelings. And the first card I picked that day was that I was having some sort of disconnect or some friction in a close relationship. And so yeah, knowing this only made me have more fuel to go through his phone for the first time. I knew his passcode because even though I had never gone through it, I had seen him for 2 years put it in. So I opened the text and I scrolled, and there was almost a full year worth of daily texts. For about half an hour, I was completely disassociating and I was reading through all of this. After I snap back to reality, that's when I wake him up yelling. After I unleash all my rage, he just says, "She's just a friend. You're being dramatic." After he said this, I was like, okay, bet. So this is the game you're trying to play? Great. I didn't fight. I waited for the morning to pack my things and leave. I didn't block him because I was enjoying seeing him desperately bombarding my phone. I think leaving him on red probably hurt more. A week after all this happened, I was broke because I was like, how am I gonna afford rent just by myself? And also I was super enraged, and I knew that my boyfriend always talked trash about girls who did OF. So I decided to create one myself. So 3 weeks ago, I started OF. Face out, solo, no shame. I created it, and I don't know how he found out, but 2 days later, he was bombarding my phone saying that I was cheating on him, alongside a bunch of other crazy insults saying that I was selling myself. Still, I didn't block him. I just keep leaving him on red. So now I post, money comes in, and I no longer feel like I'm the one being used.
I just found out that I've been getting cheated on for an entire week. Let me walk you through that. This guy's in the military, okay? And let me start off by saying, if Horville, USA had a mayor, baby, it's him. And if it's blonde with a hole, he's fucking it. And I knew that. I knew better. He comes home for the first time on leave and we see each other. Everything goes fine. Nothing happened because... no. And at that point, I really didn't like him because I already had to come pick him up. Ew. His friends are fucking stupid. And initially, he wanted me to pick him up from a 2-man that he didn't want to be at. No. Did not like him. Whenever he went back to wherever the fuck he was, I stopped talking to him. Like I should have fucking kept doing. So, about a month later, we start talking again. Very reluctantly on my part, I was always extremely mean to him, and I don't know why he liked me. Couldn't tell ya. Talking to him is fucking exasperating. About a month later, we start talking again. I know. He ends up getting leave, okay? He comes back, I pick him up from the airport. He comes to my house for about 2 days, and then he has his dad come pick him up. Here's where the story starts. You see, what had happened was, he had a lot of friends that were like graduating high school. I don't know why he's still friends with high schoolers at the age of 20, but whatever. He was going to do this like senior sign stuff. I don't know, I didn't go to school. I did not go to high school, so I don't know. Whatever. He ends up calling me that night because his friend had split his head open. I asked, oh, well, is anybody else there? Oh yeah, him and his girl. There was no other girl mentioned. Okay? Probably take him to the hospital. They did. Everything was fine. Now, mind you, I have this man's entire location and I've seen his entire asshole. Okay? Because whenever he had come to my house... let me set the scene for you. Because I promise you this matters. The lights came off. What did I hear? Do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? I'm so for real. He had a playlist ready to go. Oh, big. And I should have fucking known that he was Horville, USA, because guess what one of the first thing he said to me was ever? What's your lash map? Well, let me tell you, babe. Eat her. So, of course, as soon as that happened, everything goes out the window. Okay, out the window. Oh, bitch. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was hesitant. I said yes. Sure. Back to where we were. He got picked up by his dad. Senior sign shit happened, whatever.
He came over on like Thursday, I think, whatever. Mind you, this was after the senior sign thing. I'll explain the prevalence of that in here in just a second. Comes over on Thursday. I drop him off because he's going to have lunch with his mom. Fine, cool. I worked on Friday. Today is Saturday. I wake up. I get a text from his friend. Weird. Where was he at last night? Why are you asking me? I said, I don't know. With his friends? What was his name? Trevor? I don't know. Never heard of a Trevor. Are you telling me he's lying? Indeed. Oh, bitch. This man had picture proof. His friend had picture proof. My boyfriend was hanging out with his best friend's ex-girlfriend all week. Went to dinner with her family. Yeah. Keep in mind, she hasn't graduated high school yet. Put this man up with Jamie Terrell's because weird. I said, if he's been with her all week and I've been fucking him. Oh, this means that I have been sharing with some girl I don't know. Now, me and my best friend are Eskimo sisters. Chloe, I love you. I'm not doing that with nobody else. My blood pressure just went up. I need to take a minute. So I'm doing the math. And as I'm doing the math, the friend sends me a photo. It's whoever split his head open that night doing the senior sign bullshit. My boyfriend at the time, her, and some other girl. And Trevor, the friend that he was with, no, you're wrong. I was wrong. I am just baffled at the amount of sheer insufferability and insecurity comes from someone that fucks their best friend's ex-girlfriend and also cheats on their new girlfriend at the same time. I don't know how that happened. And let me tell you, the one thing that I really despised about him is how fucking much of an attention whore he was. Just loved attention. He is one of those guys that thinks that he's him and wants every girl to be in love with him and thinks that everybody just thinks that he's the shit. He's not. And frankly, the only thing special about him was the fact that Belle liked him for a little bit. That is the most interesting thing about him. And the only reason he joined the military is because he literally didn't have anything else to do with his life. And he told me that. Oh no, I have to be single and celibate again. God forbid. Yes. I'm going to add this in here. He even tried to turn his Life 360 off so that his best friend couldn't see that he was with his ex-girlfriend. He did. And on Friday, while I was working and he was with that girl, his best friend's ex-girlfriend, he was telling me how much he was just in love with me and how much of a future he saw with me. Oh. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew. Elephant in the room just texted me. I'm going to go take care of that. Yeah. He also posts dumps on IG. Blech.
Get ready with me while I talk about my past job experiences as a McDonald's worker. There's a lot, and it actually sucked, so let's get right into it. What the hell? McDonald's was like the first job ever that I ever had at 16 years old, and it definitely shaped who I am today because it was such an awful experience that I don't even want to talk about it. I honestly thought all jobs were like this. But basically, I remember on the very first day of training, I saw actually people that I knew at training. It was some room, which at the second McDonald's I worked at, it wasn't the same situation, which I don't know, I just kind of wanted to add that. If anyone's looking for McDonald's as their first job, I highly recommend not to. But yeah, I was working there, and the first couple of days were okay. I was genuinely so stressed out. The managers were the worst people that I've ever had to experience in my work life. There was some older guy, he was 40, he took his job way too seriously. He got really pissed at me one day, and yelled at me in front of everybody, and I wanted to cry, and actually did cry, that very same day. I honestly didn't know what a half was or a 10. I thought a half and a 10 was the same thing. So I thought, like, that just means a break. So I went up to him because I was like, it was over the time when I like wanted, you know, that I like needed 10. And I was just curious, like, hey, I was just wondering when I can take my half. He's like, how long are you gonna work today? And I was like 4 hours. And he was like, why do you think you need a half? And he starts full blown yelling at me in front of everybody. And everyone just starts looking at me. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then it was, I don't know, it like, honestly, I kind of blocked a lot of it out because of how bad it truly was. I worked there only for like a month and a half, by the way. Sorry, I had to like wet my beauty blender really quick. There was this other manager, she was like a woman. She was so rude to me. She didn't look at me in the eye. She barely acknowledged me, but she was really nice to the man coworkers that were like around my age. And she was like mid-20s or like early 20s. And I was like, what the hell, you know, because she was a bitch to me, but she was so nice to the guys. She was like wouldn't acknowledge me as a person and was like, you know, like, hey Ava, can you like go get my water bottle for me really quick? That's like not a part of like my job description, and like I was like fetching things for her. I remember like I was like trying to get past her and she was just standing still, like wouldn't let me past her. Like I was trying to go the same way, so I just kind of like stood my ground and just like ugh, and then walked around me like the other way. It was the weirdest shit ever. I felt so humiliated every single day. I really truly honestly wanted to die during this time in my life. I was going through other things at the time, so having to deal with this on top of it was the worst thing that I like one of the worst moments in my life. And also notice how this is almost like all just managers that I had to deal with. At the first McDonald's shop, I barely had to deal with like rude customers. I mean, I did at some times, but the management was like the worst part of it. And yeah, I did deal with like some homeless people asking for like, hey, can I get a free food or fries? I was like really worried about losing my job. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't, you know, which I kind of felt bad about. I honestly thought I was actually gonna get stabbed, but he was pretty cool, so he left after I said that. And yeah, I don't know, but that was pretty much like my first job. To like sum it up, it was just bad, like the management. Moving on to my second job, you guessed it, I worked at another McDonald's, mainly because it was just really easy to get hired there and easy to like get interviewed there, which I can see why. But this one started off actually really good, and I don't really have anything bad to say about like the management at all. No, they treated me actually good, like actually like a human being. But this is like mainly customers now. So the customers that were there were, some of them were just completely awful to me. I was like working drive-through a lot, like after a couple of months, which I really liked. Ignore like how messy the contour looks right now. I'm just gonna clean it up after I do the rest of my steps. But at this job I felt more confident because I already worked at a McDonald's and I kind of dealt with, you know, some bad experiences already, so I thought like, you know, I'm prepared for this. So I was working drive-through a lot, like I said. Look, I placed the blush way too high. I normally don't do it that high. It's fine. But I was doing back drive, which people that have worked at McDonald's know what that is, but basically, just to sum it up, it's just cashing people out in the drive-thru, and sometimes you have to take a lane, like take orders at the same time, which actually sucked, but it's okay. Like for the most part, it was kind of chill. Well, anyways, there was this lady one day, I guess she had like a mobile order or something, and she ordered ahead. There was like a really long line, and apparently someone cut her off. Nothing to do with me, right? I did not orchestrate how these lines go. I didn't create this at all. I'm just a worker. I'm a 17-year-old worker that's just trying to make some money. That's literally it. So she comes up to me, I was like she drives up and I was like, hi, like, were you like this person like for this order? And then she starts full blown yelling at me like, fix your fucking lanes, like fix your system, all of this bullshit. And I'm just standing there, I was like, okay. And she's just yelling at me and she's like, you know what, just give me my receipt. And then I gave her the receipt and then she just zooms off. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Because it's like, I don't even know. I would have like said something, but I was too afraid of losing my job. And I didn't want to give her the satisfaction because obviously she's bored and has nothing else better to do than blame a 17-year-old for a system that she never created. So, I don't know. Another experience, which this is like the experience that really pissed me off the absolute most, was this old lady came in with her grandkid, I'm guessing, and they were ordering the food. You know, it started off like normal, and then it was like taking a long time, and she was just crossing her arms, just staring at me. the kid was also just staring at me as well. And I don't control how fast the food is. I'm just taking the orders. I don't know what you want from me. She's like basically talking shit in front of my face about the job, saying like, would you ever work here? And the kid's like, no, absolutely not. He's like 9 years old. I'm like, what the hell? Like, obviously he got this from someone, obviously her, like talking about the job right in front of me. And I look up and it's like, I stare at them like, what the hell? And then this part really is the one that pisses me off, and I still think about it to this day. The lady is like looking at me. She's like, didn't she say that tray was ready? And I was frazzled in the moment, and it was not ready, mind you. It still needed like some other things. So I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry. Cause like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I was so in the zone, and like, I was apologizing, which so pisses me off to this day. Like, I wish I just would have said something. And she was like looking like that, like so entitled. And I was like, weren't you literally like I was thinking to myself, I was like, weren't you literally in my position at one point? Unless you're privileged and you've always had the opportunities to like, you know, have the money and not have to work a day in your life, which probably she didn't, the way she acted, which absolutely sucked. Anyways, that was pretty much all my stories that I have right now. So I'm gonna finish my makeup and then I'll show you guys the finished product, which is like what it always looks like. But anyways, all right, you guys, this is the finished product. Pretty much like my everyday makeup, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this.
I know everybody says I'm not usually the kind of person that TikToks, or they don't. I don't know. I'm not cool. I'm 33 years old. It's a good segue into my intro. My name is Emma Schmidt-Swartz. I am 33 years old. I live in Forest Park. And 4 days ago, I found out that my husband of 2 years, partner of 9, is cheating on me with a girl at the bar he manages, where we met, actually. On someone else's couch. The reason being, the girl in question lives with an elderly person. I'm still a good person, so that's why I'm trying to protect identity, although neither of these people really have identity. I've been in since I found out. I mean, and even while it was happening, and even for the past 9 years, I've been verbally, emotionally abused, called crazy, called psycho, told to fuck off, fuck you, go fuck yourself, doors slammed, loud, in my face, throwing things. And then, like, more recently, he's just been completely ignoring me and then telling me I'm crazy. And I've maybe at least 5 or 6 times over the at least 6-week period he was cheating. I think it was more. He was actively cruel to me and blaming me for how terrible our relationship was because I was losing my mind. Fun fact, I've been in pretty intense therapy for the last 1.5 years, which has given me the capacity to love myself and speak up when he is being verbally, emotionally abusive. So, like, the more I love myself, the less he loved me, because he does not love himself, because he is a miserable sack of shit. If you're thinking, oh, Emma, well, wait, I'm not going to give the big reveal yet. Come back for part 2. Just kidding. I do know that's annoying. So the girl he cheated on knew he was married, met me, knew me, and like everyone he's good friends with works there. And fun fact, they're also friends with me. And they're disgusted by him. Every single person is disgusted by him. Rightfully. So all of this is happening. Since I found out, he's been like still like calling me crazy, telling me to fuck off. He told me to move out. He told me I had to, because when we moved in, going on 5 years ago, I didn't help him move in because I had just started my first post-restaurant job downtown. Our commute was gone 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., but that's neither here nor there, I guess. So, yeah, just being a total dick, no contrition, no remorse. He literally goes, "What's remorse?" And then you're gonna be like, "Oh, Emma, that's terrible. Like, how can that be any worse?" Drum roll, please. The real ones will be doing a drum roll. He has not been truthful about his marital status pre-me. I had no clue that he had/has a wife. He never told me. Never told me about his previous / maybe current, I don't know. Just because he's like way too lazy and dumb to like know how to navigate the legal system. You gonna learn today. So yeah, like, if it's not clear, I'm here because I need to vent. I need to do something. I'm sitting in this apartment losing my mind because I knew he treated me badly, but I always, like, a core belief was that he was loyal. And then that was shattered. And then not only is he not loyal, he is like the biggest liar I've ever met. And I knew he lied because he's a bad liar, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I don't know. I'm really trying not to feel like stupid and blame myself. And I'm certain that there are people in this situation or something like it. And I would like to encourage them to also not do their best. It's hard, I know, to not blame yourself, because it's not that we're not enough. It's they don't have what it takes to hold. So, all right. Hopefully I'm not hopping on board like right as this thing gets banned, but we'll see. I can keep updating if people care. I also have a cute dog. I know people like that.
Guys, I'm really just still trying to get my bag. This is my 5th post out of 10 before I get paid. So halfway through this hell, it's still cold, but it works.
Hey guys, get ready with me to go get tested for autism. Okay. So I'm gonna use this. It's like bronzing drops, but it's by Tula. And I just found it in my drawer, and I don't even know if there's any left, and I haven't used this in a long time. So let's... Okay. Wait, I think I'm supposed to mix this with moisturizer. Oh, I should have put my hair back. I'm orange. I look like Donald Trump. Let me tell you about yesterday. I bought tickets to go to Malcolm Todd. My mom said it was okay. And then my dad found out and got really mad. But no, he already knew, like I had already brought it up to him, and he didn't tell me I couldn't go. He was just like, I don't know, that's kind of a dumb idea, and you're stupid, and that's stupid and all this stuff. But so I bought tickets, and then he was like, you are not going to that. You're not going. Refund those tickets right now. I didn't refund them yet, and I don't think I'm going to. And he was like, I just think you're not mature enough to go that far away just to go to a concert with a guy, which actually is like valid, I guess. But he did similar things when he was my age, and I was like, you did the same thing when you were my age. I don't understand like what the difference is here. And then he was like, well, if you want to be an adult and go do all these adult things, then you can just start paying for all your stuff and move out. And then I was like, okay, then I'll move out. Either I'm not mature enough to go to a concert, or I'm need to move out, which are two completely contradicting things. How are you going to tell me I'm not mature enough to go to a concert, but I'm mature enough to move out? So I'm thinking I'll just move out. He literally told me that I'm setting myself up for failure. My dad thinks I'm a failure, and that's not very nice to hear from your dad, but what can you do? And I know my dad is just looking out for me, but oh my gosh, I know he's just looking out for me, but I'm gonna be 18, like I'm gonna be an adult. I could be going to another state and going to college and doing everything by myself, but I'm not mature enough to go to a concert. Do you guys see where I'm coming from? Like this, I just don't even, it's just so frustrating being treated like a kid, like a child, when I could be moving out across the country and doing anything by myself. Like, I'm gonna be an adult. Like, I know he's just like trying to protect his little girl, but I'm gonna be an adult. I need to figure out how to do things for myself. I need to experience the real world if I'm gonna even survive out here. Like, Kevin just texted me, hey Kevin, I know you're watching this video, so let me know if I should just go to the concert. Let me know if I should move out at 18. Let me know what I should do. And my mom literally was with me when I bought the tickets. Like, she was completely okay with it. She's like, this is awesome. I love your life. I love that you're doing all these fun things. I love that you're experiencing these things. But my dad won't let me. And I just want to live my own life. Like, and when he was my age, he was doing way worse. Like, he was sneaking out and going to parties and leaving the state without his parents knowing to go meet somebody. But if I want to do anything even remotely similar, with their permission, he won't let me. I'm literally debating just packing my things up and moving right as I turn 18. Like, I'm already looking at apartments. I was literally looking at apartments last night. I'm ready. I'm out. Like, I have nothing keeping me here. Like, where I live right now, there's nothing tying me down. I just don't feel like I'm leaving much behind. I want to experience my life outside of where I grew up. Like, I don't intend on raising a family here. And if I get settled down here later on in life, that's great, but that's not what I plan on doing right now. Like, I want to go new places. I want to meet new people. I want to create my own life for myself. And my dad's like, you should just go to community college here and meet people local. But I don't want to meet people local. I don't want to be tied down here. I have wanted to leave this town since I was like born in this town. Comment down below if you watched this thing all the way through, and I will reply to your comment. I get asked what highlighter I use all the time, but if you watched any of my Get Ready With Me's, there's literally hair. Oh my gosh. It's always Benefit cookie. It's always that cookie. You don't want to hear that. I'm pissed. I think when I hit 10K, I'll unblock everybody from my school. This is my Hello Kitty lip mask. I love it. It matches my hair, kind of. Look. Look, does it match my hair? It's so cute. So cute!
This is going to be a really long story, so keep me as your background video while you do what you gotta do. I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys and tell you where I was last year on this day. I was living with my boyfriend of 5 years at the time in an apartment that we chose together. We were long distance for 4 years, so he lived in Florida and I lived in Texas. So we finally moved in together. It was 4 months of us moving in together, and I had found out he was cheating on me. I went through the back instead of going through the front so I can surprise him, and when I snuck up behind him, he had his phone laying out and it was open on Instagram. I like peeped over and I seen that he was texting somebody and he pulled his phone away from me. He moved across states for us to live together in an apartment. So I like never thought that cheating was even gonna be a thing. So when I confronted him about why he snatched the phone away from me, he told me that there was no reason for me to look at his phone. So now I was even more suspicious and I was like, let me see the phone. Why'd you snatch that from me? And then he finally admitted that he was texting his ex from Florida. Mind you, this is my fault. Okay, don't call me a loser, but I am kind of a loser. He had cheated on me with her in the past when he was living in Florida, and I did not think it was gonna be another issue. Stupid ass me, I know. She's also a shitty ass person, because when I confronted her about it and I was like, hey, what's going on? I had no idea about you. She said the same thing. She's like, I didn't know anything about you. And she was all sad because she was in a relationship with my boyfriend and I had no idea about it and she had no idea about me. And then several weeks later, I had more questions for her, and then she like did a whole switch on me and was telling me, girl, you're so stupid for staying with him. Like, he's gonna cheat on you again with me. Like, he loves me. Which of course I should have just fucking believed her and just like let her keep him, because they're both fucking losers. But I was so fucking heartbroken. I mean, we were living together for 4 months. We've been in a relationship for 5 years. Like, I couldn't just fucking let that go. But she continued to taunt me for months because she changed her Instagram bio to whatever his bio was. She put his name and her username, and I would question him about it and he'd be like, I literally don't know, like, this girl's crazy. This is also another reason I did not suspect him texting her, because I had a feeling he was being mad sketch. So while he was sleeping, I would go through his phone because I knew his password and I didn't find anything. So whatever, I ended up being like, why the fuck are you texting her? And he said, I'm just telling her how much I don't like it here in Texas. So that made me feel like you are basically making fun of me because you're talking to the girl that literally taunts me. And like, I drive home, I'm speeding home. I leave his ass at work and I'm speeding home because I was gonna go fucking break all of his shit. His like pride possession is his PS5, and I literally was gonna throw that shit off the 3rd floor. Like, I was so fucking ready. As I'm like speeding home, I'm like calling everybody I know, and every single person's telling me not to do it. They're telling me just fucking leave him. Don't ask me why, but I continue to stay with this dumb ass bitch. I can go into more details about this, but anyway, so we stayed together. I told him to not fucking text her anymore, and I don't know if he did continue to text her or not, but I was not trusting him whatsoever. He told me he fucked up. He said he was sorry, and he told me that he knows I don't have any trust for him anymore. He was like, anytime you want to look at my phone, just tell me, like, I will give you my phone. So the next month or two, that's how it was. Our relationship was really rocky because I did not trust him, but he was living his life and being so fucking happy while I was literally overthinking the hell out of everything. He was no longer allowed to work with me because of the situation, so at this point he had no fucking job. And his lazy ass, I know, I was paying for the fucking apartment. He never helped with rent. That's not the point about this. So I got him. I'm the one that set up the fucking interview for him. A job at Home Depot. Home Depot is like literally across the street from us. So he could literally like drive there and it would take him like 2 minutes. 3 weeks into this stupid ass idiot working at this job, I found out he was cheating on me. He's like a serial fucking cheater. Like, he's so fucking easy. You want to know how I found out about this girl? So first of all, I had a couple dreams that he was gonna cheat on me. So I started a new job, and one of those days that I was working was an overnight. I had a dream that he was gonna cheat on me on a day that I had to work an overnight, but that's besides the point. He comes home when I'm getting ready to leave to work. He kisses me goodbye. He tells me he'll miss me and, you know, he'll be at home waiting for me. You know, like cute shit. I don't know if this idiot thought that like I would not see his location. I wasn't even watching his location. He texted me in like while I was at work. When I went to go respond, the top location thing said that he was in a city that he had no business being in. Like I said, he moved from Florida. He doesn't know anybody here. Why? Like, he had been working at Home Depot for 3 weeks. Like, who would he have like friends with to like go to a different city with? And he never told me like he made friends or anything like that. I'm like, what is he doing in this city? I click it and he's at the movie theater. Oh my god, I'm like blowing up his phone. I'm blowing up his phone. No response, because mind you, he didn't even tell me he was going somewhere. And not that he had to, but that's, you know, like if we lived together, you know, it'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go so and so, like. And we had a Ring camera on the door that me and him both had notifications on. And I was like, I never got a notification that he left. So like, what? I call his mom and I'm like, hey, have you heard from him? I don't know like where he's at. Like it shows that he's at the movie theaters and I'm getting a bad like vibe. In his last text message that he sent to me, he said that he was gonna be playing Fortnite. So I texted one of his family members and I was like, hey, are you on Fortnite with him? Because they would play Fortnite together. And then his family member tells me, no, he's not even online. Oh, I'm telling you, my suspicions were to the roof. Me and his mom get along so well, so I don't know why she also switched on me, because she was like, oh my god, can you relax? Like, you always think he's doing something weird, and he's always doing something sketchy, or he's cheating on you. Can you relax? He probably just went to the movies. Ma'am, he's cheated on me multiple times before, and she knew about that. So I'm still blowing up his phone, giving him calls and texting him, and no response. All of a sudden, I see his little location speeding home, but he's still not answering any of my calls. I'm like freaking out. I'm at work. I'm like, bro, I cannot, like, please tell me, God, like, he's not cheating on me again. I see his little location. He was pulling up into the parking lot of our apartment. I turn on my Ring camera and I see this fool running from his car up the stairs, sprinting as fast as he can, and he runs in the door. I call him again and he finally answers. I'm like, hello? Where have you been? Why have you not been answering me? He's like, what are you talking about? I've been home all day. Like, I was on the game. I swear to y'all, I cannot lie. I swear on my life, this is what happened. We were going back and forth because I'm like, bro, stop lying to me. Like, please, when is it gonna end? Like, I'm not dumb. I watched you on the cameras. He finally admits he was on a date with a girl that he met at work. So what I found out about this girl is he started working there. 1 week later, he found interest in this girl. Mind you, he admitted this to me. He found interest in her, asked her for her number, and they started texting. I was like, did she know about me? And he said, no. I told him, give me her phone number. I'm going to text her. He was like, I'm not going to give you her number. I said, if you don't give me her number, I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to make a scene and find her myself. So he finally gives me her phone number. I text her and I tell her, like, hey, my name is this and that. I've been with him. Like, I tell her, like, everything. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea about you. He came to me. Like, he told me he was single. He told me that he moved here from Florida to start over in life. She sends me screenshots of their text messages. And in the messages, he had texted her, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, no. Do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, no. He said, no, I don't have a girlfriend because all girls do is break my heart. The exchange where I told him, give me her phone number or I'm gonna make a scene, he texted her. And he's like, hey, I forgot to tell you I have a crazy ex and she's gonna text you, but like, just go along with it. She's crazy. She's not okay in the head. He sent her this when I left the apartment after me and him had a conversation, and he told me this. He said, I know I keep fucking up, but you know I love you so much and we're gonna get through this. 5 minutes later, he sends that text to her, that I'm crazy in the head and please don't listen to her. Please don't listen to her, like me. After he was already caught, like the whole thing, he was still texting her like, hey, don't forget about doing this and that at work. Like, the fucking nerve. Like, bro, y'all don't even understand how fucked up in the head I was during this time. I wanted our relationship to work so bad. I was losing my sanity and my self-respect, and I cut off friends and family, and I clearly did not have enough self-respect or strength to leave a man who was treating me like this. But he kept telling me that everything was going to be okay and he was going to be a better man, until the day came that I literally could not take it anymore, and I fucking left. And I kicked his ass out of my apartment. And I told him to tell his mom to take his ass home. So that's what she did. She flew here and they both left. His mom also said that it was my fault that he cheated on me because I didn't trust him. And she made excuses for him too. So, well, if you listened to 10 minutes of me yapping about my relationship from last year, thank you so much.
I think we should fire the sluts.
I hope not all of the sluts.
You're not a slut, Justine. Stop trying to seem interesting.
So there was this one time I cheated on my baby daddy and he found out. I have told the story before, but I got a lot of new followers, so I'm gonna tell it again for y'all. Okay, so let's set the scene. It is July 2023. I just had a baby not even 2 weeks ago, and it is my ex-situationship's birthday. I think of him because, mind you, my entire pregnancy, my baby daddy was cheating on me. Whether it be physically, texting, or whatever it is, damn, it was unfaithful as no fuck. Okay, my entire pregnancy. Okay. So after the baby was born, with postpartum depression, anxiety, rage, the trio, the hormones, it was not a good time. Okay, so I started thinking about this ex who, mind you, I was no contact with this man for like 3 or 4 years, but it was coming up on his birthday, so I was like, damn, happy birthday, you know what I mean? So I sent him a message on the book of face, a big ass paragraph. I don't even remember what I said, but it was just something along the lines of like, I miss you, happy birthday, I hope you're doing good, I just had a baby, and da 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 da. I didn't get no response for like a week. And then I was like, I look like a stupid dumb bitch. I regret this. I'm still in a relationship with my baby daddy at this point. I'm like, I regret this because I'm not a cheater, okay? Not until my baby daddy. I never cheated on nobody. I never like lied to nobody. I was never sneaky as fuck like that, like in relationships. Like I'm not, no, like that's not me. Like I'm against that shit. Fuck that. What the fuck? But it'd be like this sometimes, you know what I mean? So I blocked him on Facebook because it's like a week that I haven't heard from him. So I'm like, you're not gonna have me looking stupid. I'm gonna delete this shit. And then I get a notification on Cash App. What are we gonna call him? We're gonna call him Albert. Albert Einstein requested $1 on Cash App saying something like, I saw your message or something like that. At the time, my baby daddy had undeniable access to my phone because I really wasn't doing anything. Like I sent that message, I deleted it, I blocked him. I was like, okay, this is over with. But then he's seen that Cash App notification. And I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Such a lover girl. That man was so used to me just doing whatever the fuck he said that he believed me. Like he didn't think that I would do that because that's not me. But he was taking advantage of me and using me. And yeah. After that little scenario, I'm like, okay, well, I can't, like, I have to message you first. You can't message me first. I live with my baby daddy. We can't be having this going on because I do want to talk to you, but like we can't be doing this. So he started messaging my bestie girl forever. Love her, she's a real one. And he would message her and be like, hey, can you tell Maddie, like I have something to tell her? And I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him when I can. Thank you, sis, love you. You know what I mean? Some real sneaky deaky grimy shit. Mind you, again, I say mind you too much, but mind you, again, I never done no shit like this before, okay? So me and Albert are talking for like 2 or 3 months. Also, he lives in a different state. I don't know if I said that. He lived in a whole other state at the time. So we're talking for like 2 or 3 months. This is all over the phone, video chat when nobody's home, like that type of shit. One day he says, hey, I got a bus ticket. I'm on my way down there. I said, you're who? What? Where? No? Who? Wait. I didn't actually genuinely think that this was gonna get physical, so I was a little scared. I was a little nervous. Did not have a car at the time. My car was out of commission, so I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna happen for real or not. You know what I mean? But where I was staying with my baby daddy did not have a washer and dryer, so I would go to my mom's house to do laundry. So I got the perfect idea. I had that perfect idea. I said, ding ding, like mom, bitch. So I told my baby daddy I was sleeping at my mom's house for the night, and then I asked my mom if she could take the baby and put him to sleep and like sleep with him, you know what I mean? So that I could just sleep by myself. He's like 3 months old. I'm going through it. And luckily I have the most amazing mother in the world. So she said yes. And me at my grown age of 22 years old. Oh my God, it's so bad. 22 years old. Steal my mom's car for the first ever time ever in my life. I stole it. I did. And I drove it an hour away to a whole other over the damn motherfucking bridge where it gets real juicy and interesting. And y'all are gonna judge the fuck out of me, but I'm telling you now, shut the fuck up. Don't even, because don't do that to me. I picked him up from where he was staying, which was with people, so I couldn't be there. And we went to a park. Yeah, sis, you heard it right. Like a playground, like where kids go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't fucking judge me, okay? Lord, please forgive me. Every time I think about it, like every single time I think about it, I'm just like, Lord, forgive me. Like, why did I do that? Like, any place else, I was like, not happening in my mom's car. I was smart enough not to do that. Also, to this day, she doesn't know, so y'all don't fucking snitch on me, okay? We're chilling for a little bit, we're just smoking and getting to, like, catching up and all that shit, and then we move over to because we're sitting at a little picnic bench, and then we move over to the playground, and you know how on the park, like, on the playground, on the little, like, on the floor of the playground, there's the little holes? You know? Yeah. The girl must have been on her knees for too long, because my knee got bruised up a little bit. What happened? I take him back. I go back home. My mama's still asleep. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm in the clear. I'm free. Except for the fact I started to feel guilty because it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't worth it. The man used to be my #1 eater. That's why I was so excited. I was like so down for it because he used to be my #1. I ain't seen him in years. Are you talking to me? I hadn't seen him in years, so I'm expecting like fireworks. Oh my God. Like, no. That shit was trash. Why the fuck was I so fucked up about that man in the first place? That's honestly the saddest part of this whole story. Next day though, I get home, my baby daddy looks at my knee and he's like, oh, what's on your knee? I didn't know at the time. I noticed it the same time he did. So I was like, I have no clue, babe. That's crazy. What is that? So he took his phone out, put on Google Lens. That shit said it's psoriasis. Babe, that's not psoriasis. So I said, psoriasis? Oh my gosh, I should probably go get this checked out. But that was it for a couple weeks. But again, I did start to feel guilty because I'm not a piece of shit and I'm not a cheater and I don't be doing that to people that I actually love and genuinely care about because then I feel like a piece of shit. Because I felt so shitty, I ended up blocking Mr. Albert and I just stopped talking to him because like I was just like, never mind, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. A few weeks later, I'm sitting there, I'm washing my baby's bottle. I'm in the kitchen. I hear my baby daddy in the bathroom talking about something. Hey, I got a question. Girl, I don't know what it was about the way that man said it, but I just knew that he knew and I was terrified. I'm 5'6". My baby daddy is like 6'3", a good like 260. The man is strong, you feel me? So I'm like, He's never been violent towards me, but still, like, fuck a friend. He comes out the bathroom and he goes, "Don't lie to me when I ask you this. Did you?" I looked at him and I said, "Yes." Uh-oh, I'm scared. He ended up saying, "I should have known I couldn't turn a hoe into a housewife," which is crazy because I was a housewife for 3 years until you cheated on me, so that's invalid. At one point I tried to lock myself in the bathroom, but he like pushed his way through and I was like cornered, and he was yelling in my face, "I should fucking hit you right now. I should fucking hit you. You're so lucky I don't put my hands on women." Honestly, you're right. You're so right. I personally right now know a couple men that would have knocked me right the fuck out right then and there, so thank you for that. Ended up moving out of that house with him and moving back in with my mom that night, and the story repeated itself about 6 months later, except I didn't cheat the next time. He did. He continued to cheat. But yeah, thanks for listening. Love you guys. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you about meeting my girlfriend's parents. Y'all, this literally happened the day of our 6-month anniversary day, and it was terrible. I genuinely had to break up with my girlfriend. Like, it was terrible, horrible. So after our date, we went to my girlfriend's parents' house, and I'm like just excited because I had never met them before. I'm thinking they're gonna welcome me with open arms because I'm the person that's dating their daughter. So we pull up to the house and we walk in, and the first thing that her mama do when she see me is say like, "Oh, friend, you look T. It's so nice to meet you in person." Yes, T. Why are you calling a straight man T? Baby, that's for them people. Like, what are we doing? It's already off to a bad start. To avoid any conflict, I just said thank you and moved on because then again, y'all, this is my first time meeting them. So I just want to keep like the peace and make a good first impression because this is my girlfriend and I'm thinking about marrying her. No shade, like this is the love of my life. Now her dad, on the other hand, I didn't really talk to him too much because when I walked in, he started looking me up and down and not like a angry what you want type of way, but like a what you want type of way. And I'm not going for none of that. Like, please don't miss me. So by this point, I'm just already irritated. I'm thinking like this day just cannot get any worse. But then her mom just keep on coming up to me, asking me like what my love life is like. What do you mean, what is my love life like? Your daughter is my love life. I'm confused. Why are you asking me about my love life? So I just start finding ways to like avoid the questions because I'm starting to get uncomfortable, like, and I'm just ready to go. And the fact that it seemed like her parents didn't know we were dating was also throwing me off because it's like, am I a secret to you? Like, I'm out in public with you. Are you like hiding me from your parents? Like, no, that's weird. So I end up going to the bathroom before I leave, and then I get a notification from this app, and I don't even know how it got on my phone, but it's called like Grindr or something like that. I really don't know how it got on there, but like I got a notification from it, and I opened the message, and guess who was texting me on that app? Her dad. And he was saying stuff like, "Meet me at the Walmart up the street when you leave." Like, I need that. I'm confused. How did this app even get on my phone in the first place? And why are you texting me on here? Like, oh my gosh, no. Like, how did you even know it was me? Like, I have never left somebody's house so fast. Like, I literally felt like the movie Get Out. Like, I had to leave. Like, no. Then when I got home, I texted her and I was like, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work out. I feel like you're hiding me from your family. And as your boyfriend, like I feel like that's super disrespectful." She started saying stuff like, "Girl, what are you talking about? We were never dating." Oh, so you playing the delusional oblivious role because I done hurt your feelings because we broke up. But that's cool. If that's how you want to play it, we gonna play it like that. I don't care. I don't mind, babe. Hey, y'all, this is the final mug. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I really hate that me and my girlfriend's relationship has to come to an end, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be hidden from nobody. I don't hide you. Why you hiding me? Period. It just is what it is. Yes, ladies, I am single, straight, and ready to mingle. Let's get into it, thing, yeah? And if you like my lashes, hit up Candy Clusters. Best lashes on the market.